back in Portland. And I just want to point out, every time I come to Portland, it's like 80 degrees and sunny. I just want to make that point. I'm not saying that I'm the reason, but there does seem to be a correlation between I love you back. It is wonderful to be back in Portland. One of my favorite events ever was the rally we had by the water. It was a day just like today. It was just as pretty as can be. And there were folks out kayaking, out in boats. And it was just beautiful. And the people could not have been warmer. And so I just want to thank all of you for being so welcoming. This is my last political campaign. No, I'm term limited. And it got me thinking about some of my first political campaigns. When I was first running for the state senate.
Please stop walking.
And Greg will remember this because we'd have to go to Kinko's to print out flyers. And he'd be drafted along with Michelle and some friends, and we'd just go around neighborhoods knocking on doors. Then later when I ran for the United States Senate, which was a loftier office obviously, but I didn't have a loftier infrastructure around me. So we didn't have Marine One, we did not have Air Force One. I drove myself in my car, usually with one staff person. And back then, young people, you will not remember this, but there were these things called maps because we did not have GPS. And so, and they were on paper, and you'd have to fold them. You'd unfold them and then try to fold them back was really difficult. And I get lost because Illinois is a big state, and I take the wrong turn, wind up in the wrong town. When I finally got to the event, I'd have to look for my own parking spot. You'd end up being late. Sometimes it'd be raining, and you had to see if you could find the umbrella somewhere in the back with all the junk that was there. But I have such fond memories of those campaigns because when I travel throughout Illinois, you go to inner cities, you go to rural, small farm towns, you go to suburbs, you meet folks from every walk of life, every race, every faith, every background, every income level. What I'd hear are stories that reminded me of my own family stories. So I'd see a retired veteran, and he'd remind me of my grandfather. And I think back about my grandfather fighting in World War II in Patton's Army, and while my grandmother was working on a bomber assembly line, how when he came back, he was able to go to college on the GI Bill. And my grandparents were able to buy their first home with the help of an FHA loan. And I think about the incredible journey that they had traveled because they were lucky enough to live here in America.